There's no need to fight the government or fight the cult behind government. There's no need to go on protests and wave banners. No need for any of that. You just need to say no. I'm not doing it. We're not doing it. And then you'll see where the real power is, because you'll realize that enforcing it without our acquiescence is impossible. What am I describing? All these contradictions, and if you go with the contradictions, even though it's ludicrous, you are giving away your power on a monumental scale, because you are simply doing what you are told, no matter what you are told. And if people would just refuse to do it, okay, you're traveling on a train. Okay, so people in the carriage refuse to wear masks. What are they going to do? What's the guard going to do? Are you going to call the police when the train arrives at the station? Well, you've seen how many people they're going to have to arrest. They won't bother with that. It's a matter of doing it in numbers, and to start that rolling, someone's got to start it, because then we'll see where the power is, and it's not with the authorities. You see, what this government did, and this applies to the world. I'm talking about Britain now, but this applies to the world. What this government did with this mask, mandatory mask in shops, they said, the shops don't have to police this, although some of the big ones like Tesco's are doing that, which is why they never get a penny of my money again as long as I live. But it's the police that have to do it. Okay? So let's look at all the shops in Britain, in fact all the shops on the Isle of Wight, come to that, and let's compare it with the number of police officers, right? It's unenforceable. But what are they doing? They are relying on the fact that people will do it anyway. And that's what's happened. And what I'm saying is, if you stopped doing it and refused to do it in numbers, then the next gate couldn't be pushed because they can't get through this one yet. And if we don't start doing this, and I know, people are frightened of authority, they're frightened of challenging authority and not obeying authority, because that's what we're programmed purposely to do. You come out of the womb, and very soon you're sitting at a desk, and an authority figure is telling you what you can do and can't do, when you can eat, when you can talk, when you can go to the toilet, and all these other things that happen once you enter the school system. So, and then there are punishments and rewards for obeying authority or not obeying authority all the way through your formative years, because they are preparing you for life to be acquiescent to authority and to fear challenging authority. I never learned that one. I must have missed that meeting. And so I know because of this that people are reticent. But all I can tell you is, if people go back to that first interview we did, and I said what this was all about, even before lockdown came in, and where it was going to go, how did I know that? How could I know that that's now played out? Because there is an agenda, which if you uncover it, allows you to predict the future, because unless the agenda is challenged and prevented from unfolding, it's going to happen. It's going to be the future. And I say from this point now, as we sit here, that where they're about to go will make what we've had so far seem like a afternoon tea. Because this script is meant to get more and more and more extreme. And they are going to go hysterical not too long from now, as you go into the fall and the winter, where every sniffle and every cough and every respiratory problem and every flu that they can get away with will be COVID-19, and they will use that to justify levels of lockdown, imprisonment, beyond even what we've seen at the peak of this one. So I know it's intimidating for people, but I tell you what, when you do it, you'll realize it's not as intimidating as you thought it was going to be. But what I'm saying is, if we don't summon the courage now to push back on this, or not even push back on it, just stop cooperating with it. There's no need to fight the government or fight the cult behind government. There's no need to go on protests and wave banners. No need for any of that. You just need to say no. I'm not doing it. We're not doing it. And then you'll see where the real power is, because you'll realize that enforcing it without our acquiescence is impossible. And if we don't do it now, then when are we going to do it? Because we have mandatory masks now in shops, and even wider afield, in places like America. Mandatory masks on public transport. But the script includes mandatory masks for children all day at school. That's what the script involves when they get further through the gate pushing sequence. So, are we going to draw the line then? And what they're doing, you see, Brian, is through all this process, this sequence, they're breaking down and breaking down and breaking down resistance. So further along the road, when the extreme of extreme stuff is in the script, then the plan is that they will have broken down human resistance to the point where they'll just accept it. Now is the time to say no. And that's all it takes. No. You know, I go into a shop, they say, you've got to sanitize your hands. Oh, all right. I can't come in if I do that, right? I can't buy anything. No. Okay. See ya. Have a nice one. Oh, wait. No. And as you keep saying that and keep doing that, then not only are you not acquiescing with your own enslavement, but you're building up your own self-esteem, your own sense of sovereignty. I'll decide what happens in my life. Not a bunch of psychopaths working through a bunch of prats. Not having it. And everything would change. No. No, not doing it.